It's time for some real education with my boy Jeremy Bentham, who was around from 1748 to 1832. He was an English philosopher, a jurist, a social reformer, and is considered the founder of modern utilitarianism. Bentham defined as the fundamental axiom of his philosophy the principle that it's the greatest happiness of the greatest number that's the measure of right and wrong. He became a leading theorist in Anglo-American philosophy of law and a political radical whose ideas influenced the development of welfarism.
Yeah, and Bentham is a really fraught guy. He gave us, as Katie said, utilitarianism, which I think is a morally wicked philosophy. It is the philosophy that says the greatest good for the greatest many is what is happiness. So if you ever found yourself in a situation that the only way you could make 1 million people happy and contented would be to murder 100,000 of them, that's the kind of moral calculus you have to engage in. And it's the spine, it's the backbone of welfarism and Western progressivism to this day. Welfarism is seeing human needs through the lens of welfare. What do people need to do what they want to do? You can see the origins of socialism in this. You can see 100 years after this, Karl Marx just seizing on welfarism as an idea, right? Like the 1619 curriculum funnels out everything that's not black slavery. So too in this particular story we're dealing with utilitarianism. It funnels out everything that impinges in any way on anything other than the immediate wants and needs and satisfactions of the individual. It is purely materialist. In fact, Bentham's own body, he decided to leave it to science, right? His body didn't believe in God, rejected the idea that our rights came from God or a creator. He donated his own body to public scientific dissection after he died. And then, so titanic was his ego, he wanted to leave his incredible body to his school. So take a look. There is the head of Bentham, which we still have to this day. The eyeballs, of course, are fake, but that's the actual mummified head of this very materialist philosopher. And you move on to the next image here. His body was taxidermically preserved. There is Jeremy Bentham under glass, and every year it's pulled out. Let me give you a sense of this here. On his death in 1832, Bentham left instructions for his body to be first dissected, then to be permanently preserved as an auto-icon, or self-image, which would be his memorial. This was done, and the auto-icon is now on public display in the entrance of the Student Center at University College London, UCL. Because of his arguments in favor of the general availability of education, he has been described as the spiritual founder of that college. However, he played only a limited direct part in its foundation. A man whose ideas gave rise to a lot of bad things in the world.